What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with some news we've been waiting for, some news that's important. Transfer window open, was it yesterday? We need to get things moving, and Leeds United have got someone in place. Funny as well, never heard this name before today. Never heard this name before linked with Leeds United, I should say. I've heard of him before, but never heard this name linked, and it just goes to show you, doesn't it? Don't go, think into every rumor that you see. A lot of it is trash, and this is proof of it. Nathan Palmer, yes, KG, shout out to you, Nathan. Yep, Gordon McQueen, Stephen Dickinson's here. Rest in peace, Gordon. The lead's great. Bit before my time, so I cannot fully, tell you everything about him. But obviously, he's a legend of the club. The club tweeted it out today, 70 years old, and rest in peace to Gordon McQueen. I'm sure there's a lot of uh, watchers of this channel that will have seen him play. And shout out to all of you guys, and hopefully, you're doing all right with that one today. But yeah, rest in peace to him. We lost a few over the last few years, haven't we? Lost quite a few legends, man. Deshaun, good evening, boss. Yeah, man, Deshaun. Deshaun, you know what it is as well today. When we was talking, weren't we, on Instagram? By the way, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. KJ Vision, same name as the YouTube channel. But the Premier League fixture list was out today. Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts. Have you seen some of the fixtures as well? You'd never believe they're a Premier League, but it is what it is. It is what it is, isn't it? We're not there. We've got to wait for our fixtures on the 22nd. But boy, it hurts. I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing a Boxing Day game between Sheffield United versus Luton Town, we messed it up, man. We messed it up. But appointments like we've done today is what's going to try and help us to get back where we need to be. Let's have a look. Yeah, Luke here. Already like how Niners do business. Rest in peace, Gordon. Yeah, it was on the low. It was quiet. There wasn't. I didn't see one person. Let me just say, I don't read everything, so maybe some of you did see, but I didn't see one link at all to Nick Hammond whatsoever. So that just tells you, doesn't it? Deshaun, yeah, it is peak, man, and Arda Gula as well. 17.5 million available for. Now it doesn't even mean Leeds would have been in for Arda, but at least we could fantasize about it, dream that he may have been coming to the club. But we're not even in those conversations no more, people. It's so sad. It's so sad. Oh, so sad. What was that? Lewis got an exam? Let me just go back up. Let me go back up. Okay, Lewis Cage, you got my last final exam. Gonna have to catch this later. Lewis, do everything you can for your exam, my man, and good luck in that. Just remember, though, if you don't get the grades that you need, it's not the end of the world. I'm just saying, but do your best. All right. Good luck to you, Lewis. Big supporter of the channel. Vicky here saying, evening, KG. Hope we hear about a new manager soon. Yeah, let's just get that out of the way now because I'm going to try and keep this concise today, he says. But the manager seems to be, it's going to be an appointment next week. So we're looking at probably next week. Brendan Rodgers is seemingly out the running, which is, I understand it, but at the same time, to hear he doesn't want to manage in the Championship, but then wants to go back to Celtic, I don't know. It's you're playing Ross County and all them, man, most of the time, but it is what it is. You get 4 big games against Rangers a season. You get Champions League football for how very little time they're in it anyway. So I can see the appeal. But I just thought that when he left them, by the way, it wasn't under the best circumstances. Didn't he leave them like mid-season or something like that to go to Leicester? I don't know. Bit weird to me, but yeah. If he's out the running, if he doesn't want to do the Championship grind, that's fair enough, and it is understandable. We just have to see now. We're hearing that Farker is the favorite, but I think we've seen with this, everyone thought that Weber was going to come in, straight away. I think we've seen that. We just don't know at this point. 49ers are working in silence, and I like it. I honestly do like it. But yeah. Listen, let's just go on to this. Let's get on to this. Let's get on to this now. Before I do, though, for fans that have seen this movie, let me just get him up, because every time I hear the name Hammond, I gotta tell you, I just think of this guy. Reggie Hammond. If you've seen 48 Hours, you'll know this movie. But I promise you, every time I've heard Hammond today, I've thought of Reggie Hammond today. Roxanne, You don't have to put on a red light. Anyone that's seen 40 Hours or another 40 Hours will know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, we're actually talking about Nick Hammond, and he has been appointed the interim football advisor. So he'll be taking care of everything for this transfer window while the 49ers do a more long-term appointment in January. So that's good for me. I like the sound of that. They couldn't find whoever they wanted long-term now, so they've gone for a short-term option. And he's not a bad one. Look, I don't know everything about him. I just know about his more recent job. And I do remember him being a goalkeeper at some point. But yeah, appointment made. Leeds United are pleased to confirm the appointment of Nick Hammond as the club interim football advisor on a short-term contract. Hammond will help support the club during the summer transfer window. And support the club means he'll be working with Angus Kinnear and the 49ers in terms of players in, players out. And yeah, all that other stuff. The process for finding a new permanent director of football at Leeds United is underway, and the club aim to complete this process by October, allowing the successful candidate to focus on the January transfer window. I see nothing wrong with that. How are you guys feeling about it, people? I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And just for a little bit of recency of what this guy's done, and this is via Phil Hayes' Twitter, but it's been doing the rounds anyway. He oversaw the at Newcastle. He oversaw the January signings of Trippier, Byrne, Guimaraes, and Chris Wood. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Not everyone can be a hit. Chris Wood. Yeah. But not everyone's perfect. You know what I mean? So, hey, if he's overseeing stuff like that, then I feel like that's a good thing for me. Hopefully. And Lewis here saying hopefully a lot of players out. I hope so too. And we'll get to a couple in just a moment. But that's not a bad thing to have on your recent CV, in my opinion. That's not a bad thing at all. Luke here saying Hammond did real well at Newcastle. He did. I mean, it's quite clear he did. The Chris Wood one stands out, but then you've got to look at the Bruno Guimaraes, Dan Byrne, who's been brilliant for them, and of course Kieran Trippier, who's probably the best right back in the Prem last season overall. Got to say that. A lot of people saying rest in peace to Gordon. Like I say, just before my time, but yeah, shout out to all you guys that have got memories of him. Yeah, and Indian Joe here saying, I'm sure everyone will concur who remember seeing him play. Gordon was an awesome central defender. Mike Adams here saying, I want things done now. Every delay is going to cost us. Yeah, I mean, Leicester City are on the verge of appointing Enzo Maresca. I remember that guy, but he's about to be the Leicester manager. I thought they were going to get Scott Parker, but again, just shows you, doesn't it? Not every report that you read is accurate. A lot of it is guesswork. But it looks like Enzo Maresca is going to Leicester, so they're about to appoint their manager. So you'd like to think that in the next, I mean, what are we on today? Lose track of days. Thursday. You'd like to think by Monday that we'll have someone in place. But I will say this as well. I do like how we're doing everything very quietly. Like we say, there hasn't been a list leaked or anything else like that. We are just getting on with the job. And, I think that's what we've needed after the last ownership, where there was just too much talking, just way too much talking. So let them get the stuff done, but it does need to be done quickly. People are right. The transfer window is open. Clubs are doing business now. We need to be involved in that, both in and out. Yeah, Jake saying, glad that's been sorted, and the new owners too. Now let's get the rest of the issues out. Yeah, 100%. And speaking of one issue, let me just go on to another one. Because I'm going to go on to the player departures here now. And I mean, this one is Tyler Roberts. Remember, he's still here. Well, he's close to joining Birmingham City, and it's a permanent deal. So we can finally say goodbye to Tyler Roberts. It's well overdue, by the way, well overdue. I think he's made 100 and something appearances for Leeds United, which is, it's incredible. It should never happen. Never, ever happen. But yeah, he's made over 100 appearances for Leeds. But I think once he went on loan to QPR, even though that 4.5 million was never going to be paid by QPR, never in a million years, I think his time was up, and I think he knows that too. He was at West Brom before, wasn't he? So he goes back to the Midlands. And yeah, all the best to Tyler Roberts. Like I say, never had anything against him as a person. You can't really. He was he seemed to be a good character around the place, but he was not a good footballer, and that's the main thing for me. And I need that to be clear. It needs to be clear. If you're not a good footballer, I don't care what you're doing off the pitch now, man. I'd take 11 absolute D heads on the pitch. then rather have 11 nice guys and not do nothing. So yeah, Lewis is saying no, bye bye Tyrone Legend. Yeah. um, let's have a look. Emma is saying here, Tyler is so lucky. Better players are left on a no contract offered scrap heap. Hey Emma, this is what I've been trying to tell people. When you think of that a player is so bad that no one's going to want them, there will always be a club that will want that player. Always happens all the time. Happens all the time. So even when you think that a player is just so dusted that nobody's going to come in for him, there'll be somebody there. And plus, you got to say as well, agents a big part of that. Agents a huge part of why players get moves. And let's talk about someone else who's got absolutely an agent that I want this agent. I want this agent because Robin Koch, people, has been linked with Manchester United. I must be losing scope of what like good players are in this era. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Um, but yeah, Robin Koch is on the short list of Man United. Loose talks have taken place, and Florian Plettenberg is somebody who he gets stuff right. He gets more stuff right than wrong. So if at least Man United haven't made a bid or nothing like that, but he is on their short list. So yeah, I mean Robin Koch going to Man United. I mean, I'm not sure how anyone feels with that. I'll just tell you my feelings on it. It doesn't bother me one bit. Um, I always say with players' moves, I don't really care usually where they go. Now, obviously, if you're thinking of a Rafinha, if he was to go directly to Man United, I'd think "Ugh, maybe not. But Robin Koch going to Man United, go on. Let's get the best price possible, in my opinion. What are you guys saying? Has Haribo, yeah, shout out to you. Has evening KG. I joined the channel last week and ain't had a chance to comment yet. I remember when we've been relegated. I remember when we've been relegated several times. Yeah, I remember we've been relegated a lot in the last 20 years when you think about it. Um, but yeah, but shout out to you, Has. I'll give you a shout out on the last video, and memberships are in the description, people. So thank you for the support. Seriously. Oh God, you know what? I didn't read out my super thanks. I got all emotional about us not being involved in good transfers. So, John Abbott, Mr. P, Carl Brown, Stephen Short, and John L. Thank you for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated. Sam here saying genuinely wouldn't want him starting in the championship. Me either, Sam. I just don't think he's got it in him. And I've been fair with Robin Koch because I thought that he would be one of our future pairings in defense, but he just doesn't have it, in my opinion. But with his agent linking him to Newcastle and everyone else, hey, people must see something. Yeah, people must see something. Like I said, I think his best period was when he had Verba holding his hand. Verba went out injured again, and we saw the Robin Koch from before. But yeah, JJ saying, think of the Maguire backline. Yeah, I think Maguire's leaving Man U this summer. I think that's finally going to happen. I don't think even Gareth Southgate has said that he can't keep picking Harry Maguire if he's only played the amount of games he has. So I think Harry Maguire will be leaving. And maybe Robin Koch they see as a more mobile defender. I don't know, but let's get the best price possible. Yeah. We got to put on that rivalry tax that needs to go on. I know we're in the championship now, but let's get that rivalry tax like they did for us to Dan James, yeah? Because Dan James was never worth 25 million, but we had to pay the rivalry tax. Let them do that too. There was a report saying about Cody Drame as well being linked with a move to Burnley. Apparently, Burnley have made a bid and it's been rejected, but I haven't seen that around anywhere that I trust. So I'm not gonna click the screen for that one. But Cody Drame is someone that we do need to sort out if he's going to be staying or if he's going. And if he does fancy move to Burnley, I understand it completely. He's going to be in the Prem. He's going to be under Vincent Company, who will probably trust him as much as anybody that he's had at Leeds United, by the way. So yeah, I can completely see that happening if it was to happen. It's not the first time we'll lose some players to Burnley while we're in the championship and they're in the Prem. The only way that happens though, people. Only way. Yeah, Bowie saying Maguire after Spurs. I don't think that's true, Bowie. I know Tobes went absolutely mad about that one, but I don't think Maguire's going to Tottenham because when you think of Andrew's style of football, Harry Maguire is the antithesis of that, isn't he? He's not that kind of player. So no, I don't think that's happening. Sliced bread, Ed in the house. Um, Cock at United. I'd rather play Fred there. Ed, the big Man United fan in the house. But yeah, let me just see. Is there anything else? Have I got everything? Yeah, I think I've got everything. Oh no, I've got one more story. Uh, Ali here saying in regards to Cody Drame, he's under contract with no release clause. So unless the money's right, I think we should keep him. The only thing with that, Ali, is that with a year left, we've already done so much bad business over the past few years with letting players leave for free or paying them off to go. I think we've got to stop doing that. When I'm hearing other clubs, Leicester, Southampton, with their prize assets demanding the best value that they can, we should be doing that too because we haven't done it long enough. Remember in those accounts where we had 88 million going out and 1 million coming in? You can't do that. We've kept players far longer than we should have. And if Cody does want to leave with 1 year left on his contract, he kind of holds the cards. I'm afraid that is the way it is, and especially with us being in the Championship and the Premier League being after him. So we're really not at the mercy of Cody Drama, but if he decides that he wants to go, we're going to have to negotiate the best price to Burnley and tell him and just say, well, good luck to you, and off you go. That's just the way it is. Um, yeah, I mean, Stephen, I think Southampton is shooting for the moon there. Ward Prowse for 50 mil. I don't think they're going to get 50. I don't think they're going to get 50, but I think they're just trying to lay the marker down of what James Ward-Prowse means to them. Because just remember, he's their captain, he's their leader. Obviously, he's the main set piece taker there as well. So if he's going to leave, they want the club to come in to get near that amount of money. But 50 million for Ward-Prowse, poof, not in this lifetime, not in this economy. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gary here saying if we want to keep Drama, we have to start him, otherwise let him go. And I think if Leeds can't convince him with first team football at the club, then they're going to have to let him go. I'm afraid you just can't keep players that don't want to be here. Otherwise, I always mention the example, but it could be like Stoke when they came down, when they had literally a Premier League team on the pitch, but they didn't want to be there, and it showed in their performances. And we can't afford to do that. We need players that want to be here. And let me just make sure I make this clear. I do not blame Cody Drama if he does want to go, because we haven't treated him well here, and the fans haven't treated him well overall as well. So we just have to get this nipped in the bud. If he signs a new contract and he stays, that would be brilliant. But if not, let's get the best price possible. Um, Yeah, I mean, Michael, we kind of said this at the time as well, and you're absolutely right. We lost Calvin for 42 million and Rafinha for 55. Any other club would have gotten more for them. Yeah, this is it. I mean, we have, because we treat our players possibly too well sometimes, Michael. We have allowed this to happen in terms of Rafinha. You did everything you could for us. You know, you want the Barca move, cool, and we'll facilitate it as best as we can. 55 million is an absolute steal for a Rafinha talent. It's ridiculous. When you see what some of the other players are being linked with now, we should have got way more than 55. And the Calvin thing, again, that was more like a thanks for everything you've done. We're not going to invest to where, we can challenge for anything. So we'll let you go to Man City for this amount. Yeah, it is poor. That's what I'm saying. It's poor business. It really is poor. And we've got to stop doing that. We've done that for years, though. Even under Ken Bates, we lost some real talented players for pittance. I remember when we sold Howson for 2 million. I mean, yeah, we've got to get better with the player sales 100%. Uh, yeah, Sam here saying we let them go cheap as a favor. What other club would do that? Sentiment FC. Yeah, it does depend though, Sam, on how the player's pushing. In public they'll always say I'm committed, I've got a contract and everything else like that. But behind the scenes they could be kicking up a fuss, and that's where it gets difficult, especially when you've just scraped relegation. It's not like we were flirting with a European place or anything else like that. We was near the bottom, and again that weakened our bargaining position with these players. But you're right. It's like a thanks for everything you've done. See you later. Much like with letting Mateus Click go for free. When reality is we should have sold him a couple of years ago and got like near 10 million for him, because I think we still could have. But hey, listen, new era now. 49ers. Hopefully, we see a new era of doing business. And let's hope that we get the full value for some of our players. We're not going to get the full value being relegated, but you know what I mean, the best value possible. Uh, Okay, Low D though is saying, I think if Drame wants to leave for Burnley, then he can, but for free next season, it's time Lee start playing hardball. But then Low D, what I would ask, what I would say to you then is, if you do keep Cody Drame about and he doesn't want to be here, and the performances are subpar, let's just say his performances are subpar, or one time he gets sent off for two stupid yellow cards. Just just think of anything silly like that. Are you then going to say, "Oh well, he'll be back in the next few games," or "Oh damn, we should have sold this guy to Burnley"? You know what I mean? It's sometimes I hear what people are saying, but it's very old school. I just say that I don't know how old you are, Lodi, but it's very old school of keep them or put them in the reserves. It just football just doesn't work like that anymore. People, the power is in the players' hands, especially when you're not a top Premier League club. But I know what you're saying, keep him. But if it upsets the room, knowing that he wants to go, you got to think of the knock on effect in the dressing room, and you've already seen in our dressing room. It's very fragile, isn't it? Very fragile. So yeah. Uh, let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Karen here. Hopefully, no more sentiments now. The 49ers are in. Yeah, we'll see what Nick Hammond does. We'll see if he's going to be about it. Let's see how he clears out the the pool of players that we have here. Who is he going to keep? That's going to be very interesting to see over the next couple of weeks. And I hope that he does. We need to clear house, man. We need to clear house. I can't stress it enough. I just want a new, fresh start with these players. I don't want to see many of these players here. It will hurt me seeing some of these guys on the first day of the season. It will actually hurt me seeing their names again. So I'm hoping that we're going to have a fresh start, get as many out as possible, bring in the quality that we need, get in some good loans. That's very important. I can't stress that enough. We need to get some good loans in from the Premier League. But yeah, Bowie here with a little bait and switch. Agree fee for Drame, then send him Ailing instead. I wish, man. I wish. Um, I mean, a couple of you now are asking about Bamford, and Mark, how much will someone pay for Bamford? He's the one player I really want gone. I agree. Blinky Fish here. What are your thoughts on Bamford? KG, will he stay? Again, nothing's changed from the last video, Blinky Fish. I haven't heard one rumor regarding Bamford. I haven't heard a whisper about him. I haven't heard him if he's going to stay, if he's going to leave, what he's looking for. Very, very quiet. Very quiet. I don't even think he's done a goodbye or a sorry post, an apology post. So very quiet on the Patrick Bamford front, but I'm hoping that somebody will take him on because yeah, he's someone I definitely don't want here. I really don't want him here. Jeremy here, Jeremy here saying we will have to pay Bamford's contract up to get rid. Listen, Jeremy, we've already seen with Mark Rucker who's possibly leaving to Betis on a loan. Maybe that's going to be another way that we get a high earner like Bamford out of here, where he goes on loan to the Premier League. I can definitely see like a Everton or someone like that taking Bamford on loan. I can really see that happening. So, we may not get a permanent fee for him because he's got so many years on his contract left. Oh man. He's got so many years on his contract. Maybe he goes out on loan this season. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Because we're not going to sell everybody. I think it's quite clear from the Mark Rucker thing. And I saw, a couple of people asked me about Mark Rucker and why isn't it a permanent? It's because Betis can't afford it, so they need to do a loan deal. And at this point, it's the best offer, and we need to get Rucker off the books, I think. And I think it just suits him as well, going back to Spain, in all honesty. I think it's going to be the same with Llorente. Llorente is also being linked with a move back to Roma again with a lower buy fee. I mean, that's what happens, isn't it? When you're in the championship, man, people just pick at you, but it's going to have to be the way for a bit. We're not going to permanently sell everyone. We will have to loan out a couple of players as well. Ali here saying Bamford needs Koch's agent. Yeah, Koch's agent. I want him representing me. Seriously, he's brilliant, isn't he? He gets Robin Koch linked to. You would think he's about to play for Real Madrid or something. Buey here saying, is Rocker going to Betis on loan a smart move? Yeah, I mean, I would love it. I would have preferred it to be permanent, but you've got to understand the financial situations of the Spanish league as well, below Madrid and all those guys. So yeah, I think it's good. I don't think Rocker would do well in the championship. I don't think he'd do well in this league at all. I think he needs to go back on the continent where the football is more to his speed. Otherwise, yeah, it's not gonna be pretty for him in the championship. And Stephen here saying that he likes to rock alone, get them to pay their wages, and that's it. They're paying the full whack of his wages, so he's off the books. Leaves it clear for somebody more suitable to come into the club. Um, But yeah, I mean, Jim. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's true, Jim. Here, too much waste to get rid of. 100%. There's far too much. That's why I hope that Nick Hammond gets a move on in the next couple of weeks, and we see more movement. Apart from Tyler Roberts and Robin Koch, who's probably going Barcelona next. Just going to finish on this one, just to finish off. Now, I must say, it's only an accusation. Who knew we had Triple H working for our charity? But John, is his name John Malaloo? Let's go with that. Malaloo. Yeah. He's under internal investigation for creating a negative working culture for a charity. So I'm saying, guys, just be nice. You know what I'm saying, when you get into positions of power, and this guy was earning something like it's six figures, isn't it? 120, 130,000 a year. Just be a good person, man. It's like they always say in it, money doesn't change you, it just brings out the person you're supposed to be. But if this is proven correct, but there's a lot of people coming forward with various allegations against him, then yeah, he needs to go, man. He needs to cut all this stuff out from these kind of positions where people just take the mick with people. It's not on. It's not on. Hey man, what? No one else saw that he looks like Triple H. But yeah, man, just be a good person, man. It's easy. Oh no, oh no. Can you can you guys see me? I've gone off. I clicked off it. Hold on, I'm coming back. Hold on. You, can you guys hear me? There we are. Oh my god, now there's an echo. Oh, my days. Right, hello. Oh, there's an echo. Can you guys hear the echo? I'm going in a minute anyway, so it's all good. Rather believes with the super chat. Get out of here. Unfortunately, toxic. What? Can you guys hear the echo? Oh, I'm leaving in a bit anyway. But yeah, unfortunately, toxic workplaces are too common. Yeah, I know, I know. I spoke about this on. You guys can't hear the echo, but I can. It's taking me out. But yeah, I spoke about this on Instagram the other day, just in regards to toxic workplaces, and yeah, it seems like a few people like that. So I might talk about that in future. But yeah, I might talk about that on future watch alongs, just with some of the stuff I experience and things like that. Some of the things I've seen. So, but yeah, in environments, certain environments, especially in office kind of environments, it's big, isn't it? It's huge with you know nepotism, people's partners being promoted. Yeah, it's bad in some places, but yeah, yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, we'll talk about that in future streams. We'll definitely have a conversation about that, and you guys can give me some examples of what you've gone through, and I'll tell you some stuff that I've been through too. But yeah, listen, people, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, I wanted to keep this one short. Please hit a like on the video. I haven't done any of this. Please hit a like on the video. Best way to support the channel. Subscribe if you're sensible, and drop your comments after the video's done. Listen, people, I am gone. Peace out.